Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Why should my heart feel lonely, alone? To heaven and home, when Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is He. His eyes are on the sparrow, and I know He watches me.
Loneliness as a child. Frequently, I considered myself to have fulfilled my body's shell. Although not alone, I find myself wondering whether I felt alone out of fear that I'm not understood, or maybe it was the freedom to be free that I can only grant access of myself to have.
What are you offering?
Wild one. Not accepted in the eyes of those a churchgoer, but I consider myself at most always spiritual. The questions of faith.
What are you offering? Ask yourself. What are you offering? A constant friend is He.
I connect my thoughts of Jesus Christ to that same idea of loneliness. Exiled from the church for having beliefs of a better human. To give grace and mercy because we are sinners, for the Lord had given His only Son, slavery. To be enslaved is the access of entrapment, displacement, and organization. Jesus I do not idolize, for my gods are the sun, the moon, and the stars as they magnify. The air we breathe and the wind that glorifies. Mother Earth is my God, and the galaxy my higher power. Jesus, however, I can give thanks to, and the same thought I do of my ancestors. For men and women die every day, and have died today and yesterday, as my ancestors have before. Lonely, merciful, gracefully enslaved. Dignity in hand, for the power is in the peace that their souls may rest. And watch over me, as the church calls them angels. But I see the dead that walk among us. Can you hear them? Do you see them? Prophet or medium? Question. What if God were one of us? What if God were one of us? Inspiration. What is that? When there is a presence and then a lack thereof, how am I suddenly less? Gifted, discouraged. My shadows have come again. When the little light seems to appear, is that me shining? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Oh, how I've wondered what you are. To have a mother and a grandmother who I was and who I am becoming. The natural forces of my ancestry. Generations that come and have gone. We generate, migrate, settle, processing what it means to be in between the worlds of then and now, generating, migrating, settling, interested in gratifying the clarity in my existence, generating, migrating, and settling with this little light, little of mine just wanting to shine like my mother shines in her divinity, or my grandmother as she wears wisdom in her cheekbones. I hold trauma in my shoulders, the left exact in its correctness, my dominant side. The witch, bound by the devil I am chosen, I can choose nothing but who I am. I acknowledge the quest and the pressure to fulfill what was left out between the two of them, my mother and my grandmother. For the day to breed a queen is the greatest accomplishment, a gift to winners.
My gift
Shall be my gift, a winner. She'll be my gift. Out of wedlock, servants raise kin. But wasn't Jesus born to a woman with no presence physically of his father? God was a man. God was a man. As I did not recognize myself to be exclusive in my choice to share my life with X or Y dominant human chromosomes, what does wedlock even mean? Tradition? My tradition. A bastard child born from parents whose union is separate. It never existed. By definition, it is a union of married people. It never existed. Let us not be confused. Holy matrimony. Again, I find myself battling with the in-between that seemed to be the battle. How many wars shall be fought before the battle is won? Who are we against? Who am I fighting? Is what a better question than who? Is what a better question than who? Gridlocked. Abort or let live in the struggle. Surviving. I feel the air in my lungs. I am surviving. This is not my autobiography. The language seems specific. Focus. Over my eyes, there is a fog that covers the gaze of those who would like to have seen me. As the clouds part and the light is revealed, blue is my skin. Take a resting place. The same it does when the moon sets, blue is my skin, and from the ground yellow appears. Halo. The glow. The thing that grounds us. I wonder, which gods commune in the sky? The pillowy decadence. Gods communing in the sky. And pillowy decadence. And the demons among us, walking, sitting, searching, feigning, feeling. Who grants us chance and who steals change? Evolution is murderous. Death rests us, life drowns us. Where in between does the joy lie in which we do not notice? Oh, that was the answer. The present. Are there days that pass lost in my mind forever, for I was not myself, but a host for the ghosts to shine? How bright you appear. Dreams in a whirlwind, a sea of faceless babies. My daughter, it's my face. Tiny fingers laced in my palm, the shell of a body dead and a body living. Have I known myself in multiplicity, before and after? Life, the significance of my existence. Who you see is someone, somewhere. In between, shining through this little light of mine. Shining little light from the goddesses who came before me. My mother, my grandmother, and all of she before, and so on. My head shaven, bowed at their feet, I weep. Every day, I forgive myself. The dead are done. We do not come back here for living. Can you hear them? I asked you before.
You don't have to worry, and don't you be afraid. Joy comes in the morning, troubles they don't last always. For there's a friend named Jesus who will wipe your tears away. And if your heart is broken, just lift your hands and say, I know that I can make it. I know that I can stand, no matter what may come my way. My life is in your hands, no matter what may come my way.
When your heart is broken, just lift your hands and say, remember there's a friend named Jesus, is what they told me, is what my mother would say. Bring it to Jesus.
Bring it to Jesus. No matter what may come my way, my life is in your hands. You don't have to worry, and don't you be afraid. No matter what may come my way, my life is in your hands.
As I sat 2 rows behind you, staring at your body, we laid you to rest. My tears dropped to the face of someone I can only now forever remember, as long as I am remembered. The Lord's word spoke to me.
They speak to me.
It speaks to me. You had cried your last tears yesterday, and I've promised to not let us down. Whispering in my ear by night in my dreams, I am sworn with you. My mental space is longing for those words, purpose. We all have one. Whether it be to God's glories or the worlds of sin, purpose is in the walk of faith, believing, understanding, valuing. I shall oblige, kneeled at the grounds of my own feet. I lend out a hand to myself and ask my child to walk with me in the shadows of death. Find light in your heart and strengthen your voice, baby girl. To be all that you can be, a servant to yourself, baby girl, less the servant to the world of life, my angel baby. Purify your temple and give thanks to its gifts.
Never said there wouldn't be trials. Never said I wouldn't fall. Never said that everything would go the way I wanted to go. But when my back is against the wall and I feel the hope is gone, I'll just lift my head up to the sky and say, no need to be strong. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. Ooh,
Seek peace and pursue it.
far.
Seek peace and pursue it.
And I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. And I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. And I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me.